You're listening to the Best Morning Routine Ever podcast, the show that proves no one stumbles upon success ever. With your host, Lou Need. Every Mondays and Thursdays, we deliver cold hard evidence behind the power of a robust morning routine. Get ready to be transformed by the renewal of your mind.
Hello, morning enthusiasts. Welcome to the Best Morning Routine Ever podcast. I am your host, Looney Lewis, and today I have a phenomenal guest coming to the show, Michele Molitor. Michele is an executive confidence coach and rapid rewire expert and founder and CEO of Nectar Consulting. Michele uses brilliant techniques to shift mental blocks and enhance the capacity of leaders, helping them build high-performing teams and exponentially increasing bottom-line results. Michele, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much, Lunid. I'm delighted to be here with you today.
I am thrilled. Short and sweet. You have been in this field and you have mastered this area of called rapid transformational hypnotherapy. And it's the first time I've heard about it, so I'm looking forward to picking your brain. But before we get into that, Michele, please tell us a little bit more about your journey here so far.
Sure, absolutely. So I have been a coach and rapid transformational therapist now for almost 20 years. My 19th anniversary is coming up next month of my business. And I, got here very strange, but apparently the route that I needed to take. I was a creative director in web development in my former life and had just been moved here to the San Francisco Bay Area, the height of the dot-com boom, and was managing a team, a large team. And apparently there was two gentlemen on my team that I hired who made it abundantly clear they didn't like working for a woman. And essentially I got bullied out of my job. They took it upon themselves to, say and do things that led to the destruction of my confidence, which led to me ultimately getting fired. And it was devastating to me. It truly was. I felt, like I had been scattered, splattered, smothered, and fried in all sorts of ways that were not good. And I discovered coaching to help me figure out what to do next because I was quite the deer in the headlights. And it led me to coaching. And so in the process of being coached, I actually found my true life calling in this work of service to others and really helping folks find their best selves and bring that out and restore or rebuild their confidence. And along my path, I've been quite the seeker, always looking at new and different ways to enhance myself, to get rid of the blocks in my way so that I could be the best coach that I could be. And several years ago now, I discovered the work of Marissa Peer. She's a world-renowned therapist, and she's the one who has pioneered this methodology called rapid transformational therapy. And so I did some work with her, and it really was so profoundly transformative for me in a matter of weeks. Like, really, no kidding, Lunid, the stuff that I'd been trying to get out of my way for 20 years was gone, and I was amazed. So when she started training people in her modality, I was a big yes. And so I've gone on to be trained and certified with Marissa, and I've worked with her and her team. I've been one of her graduate trainers. I've helped build some other programs for her organization as well. And in the process of doing this work, what I found is that it's a really deep dive into your subconscious. And it can be a bit wobbly. It's kind of like doing a brain detox where you get rid of the bad stuff and you instill new stuff, like going on a sugar detox, if you will. And your body gets a little grumpy, shall we say, in the process. So ultimately what I've done is I've created my 30-day rapid rewiring program that brings together the amazing benefits of rapid transformational therapy, or RTT for short, which is much easier, and my nearly 20 years of coaching, because I found the two together supercharge each other and create for longer lasting, deeper, profound results for my clients. So I've had the joy of working with folks from all around the world. I do all my work virtually over Zoom, which is working great since COVID hit. I was doing it long before that. But yeah, it's a really powerful process that helps folks eliminate or significantly alleviate both emotional pain and physical pain and the manifestation of that emotional pain in their bodies. So it's my joy to do this work in the world.
That's powerful. And within weeks, individuals can start seeing results.
Yes, absolutely. Most of my clients, we work together for 30 days and they're good and they're off back into their routines and they're creating exponential success because they've moved some deeply held beliefs about themselves out of the way. And then I've had not very, a couple of dozen maybe that I've worked with over 60 to 90 days, because sometimes we have compounded beliefs about ourselves and it takes a bit more of the deep dive work over time to find them and rewrite them, essentially, is what we're doing at a subconscious level, and then reinstilling new empowering beliefs over time. So one of the tools that I use, and the secret sauce, if you will, is this transformation recording that I make for my clients. And it's based on all of the conversations that we have coming up to our first session and then while in our session. And I use keywords from those conversations and I weave it into, it's about a 30-minute hypnosis recording that they then listen to each night as they're going to sleep for 30 days. And what that's doing is literally building new neural pathways in their brain. And so during our TT session, we're identifying the blocks at a subconscious level. We're eliminating the negative emotional charges around that event or that belief and where it originated from. So we're really getting at the root cause. And then we're rewiring it with my transformation recording, which then is supported by the coaching week after week over a 30-day period. So they're able to literally eliminate, let go of old beliefs like, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I'm not lovable, I'm not deserving of success, I can't hold on to money. There's a lot of common beliefs that people have. And so we're rewriting those beliefs to, I am enough, I am worthy, I'm deserving of love, of success, of abundance, etc. It's really fun to watch people transform.
And they're doing this as an affirmation. The recording you do, it's an affirmation base?
So the recording is me speaking in a particular tone and cadence. I mix in binaural music with it. So it helps every time they listen to it, they're dropping into that alpha brainwave state, which is your half awake, half asleep state. Yeah. And that's where your super learning brain is most available, right? So it's just taking in all of this information. So the words, the phrases that I'm saying they're just listening to them. Oftentimes people just fall asleep listening to my recordings, which is fine because your subconscious mind is always listening. It's always on, right? Mm-hmm. So it's kind of a twofold. In their waking state, yes, they can be repeating to themselves, I am enough, I am worthy, I am deserving. And as they're listening to this music and the transformation recording, they're getting it at a deeper subconscious level, which is where, 90% of your brain power is at a deeper subconscious level. So when you change the beliefs there, it has a ripple effect all throughout your life.
Yeah, because we operate out of that subconscious mind 95% of the time.
Yes, we do.
We are on autopilot, and that programming is just like an old tape replaying over and over again. And so you come in to interrupt that.
Exactly. So I'm giving them, we're swapping out tapes. We're getting rid of the old tape that no longer serves them and swapping it out for a new one.
And that's the rewiring, the rapid rewiring process?
Yes, that is it. So over 30 days, we have a 2-hour RTT session. And then I follow that up with 3 60-minute coaching sessions that are, supporting my clients through the transition as they're, extricating some of these old beliefs from their mind, body, spirit system and giving them other tools and exercises to support enforcing those new beliefs at a deeper and deeper level.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of results have you seen that you don't mind sharing with us?
Oh, sure. I love sharing stories. It's astounding, actually. Let's see. One of my favorite clients, Chris, he came to me dealing with severe adrenal fatigue. He was a super high performer, had built a multi-million-dollar company by the time he was 27. And, being such a hard worker, his body was like, I can't take this. And his body gave out. He blew out his adrenals, couldn't work, while simultaneously unforeseen forces of nature caused his business to collapse. So he basically couldn't work for nearly 2.5 years. And when I met him, he actually interviewed me on his podcast. And, he'd been seeing doctors and naturopaths and all sorts of different folks to help him regain his health. And he was at about 45, 50% when we first met. And Chris ended up doing about 90 days of work with me. And he happened to have blood work done the day before our RTT session. And then he had it done after our 90 days. And his medical doctor, looking at his blood work, was astounded that he had improved his health dramatically in such a short period of time, because we were able to get at the underlying beliefs about his self-worth that was causing the drive behavior, that, as he would call it, I'm going to crush it behavior. And he was able to transform how he thought about himself and how he was running his new business. And he's doing great. His health is fantastic. And, he's built another 7-figure business. So that's just one example. I've worked with folks to help them eliminate IBS they've been dealing with for 15, 20 years, inflammatory bowel syndrome. I've helped clients reduce or eliminate some arthritis, psoriasis, chronic migraines, anxiety, depression. I have one client that I'm working with right now who came to me with severe anxiety and depression, was on several different antidepressant medications, was in the process of trying to kick a heroin habit, and was smoking. Inside of 2 months, he has quit smoking. He is successfully moving through his methadone treatments. He's off all of his antidepressant medications. And I just found out from him last week that he got accepted into a college program, one of 15 candidates out of over 200 for this particular program. So it's things like that make this work so joyful for me, and watching people reclaim their lives and belief in themselves and their confidence in themselves.
Yeah, no, it's inspiring. It truly is to hear that this process can be done. And it's not hypnotherapy where you have to be in front of the person, where the typical hypnotize somebody to stop smoking. It's very different.
It is very different. I had done hypnotherapy many years ago, and while it was relaxing and it felt good in the moment, I never found any long-lasting, sustainable results from it. And so it's this unique combination that brings together, in the rapid rewiring process, we're essentially bringing together cognitive behavioral therapy, neuro-linguistic programming, hypnotherapy, and coaching all rolled up into one. And it's powerful. It's really powerful. It transformed my life. And I continue to use the recordings, not only from Marissa, but ones that I've made for myself, or ones I've even made for some of my clients. I'm like, wow, that was good. I'm going to listen to that one. So, because, we're all a work in progress.
Yeah. So it's not just enough to do binomial beat from YouTube. You have to incorporate the keywords that are specific to you and the things that the beliefs you're trying to break.
Yes, exactly.
Incorporate into that. Yeah. So, and that's the form of the hypnotherapy portion of it, is that listening to it prior to falling asleep.
The reason why I have clients listen to it as they're falling asleep is because that's when you're already moving into that alpha brainwave, delta brainwave state. So your resistance of your conscious, critical, judging mind is lower, right? You're already drifting into that place. And so typically clients will listen to it as they go to sleep. But then over time, after a week or two, I say, if you want to listen to this while you're going for a walk, or doing chores around the house, not driving, of course, but that way they're incorporating physical movement with what they're hearing, because science tells us what fires together wires together, right? So if you're doing physical movement while you're listening to something, it actually helps you ingrain that at a subconscious level even faster.
Ah, that's fantastic. How to rewire our brain for success. This is essentially along the lines of how to do so. That's how you've helped businesses, and you just gave some great examples of how to 10x their success, really, to get from a place of stagnation to actually start thriving.
Absolutely. Yes. I've worked with business owners and entrepreneurs and executives to moms, right? I've worked with kids as young as 7 and adults as old as 72. So it's pretty powerful stuff.
Amazing. Tell us about your habits, your morning routine. How do you get up, dress up, and show up?
Well, every morning I do my best to try and meditate first thing in the morning. I get up, I have my 1 cup of coffee because anything more than that, I'm all jittery. And I'm usually at my desk by 8:30 in the morning with my trusty assistant, Alice, my Goffin cockatoo, here helping me for an hour or so as I go through my emails. And then she goes to her office on the other side of the house because she's loud. And she won't let me be with her without giving her my full attention. So, but I have my structures that I do every day, and it's that repetition for success that I've been in business coming up on 19 years now. So I guess things are working, but I do my best to eat healthy. I exercise a couple of times a week to reduce that stress, helps me sleep better. And with COVID, well, we visit friends virtually, visit family virtually these days.
Yeah, morning routine is robust. You got to have those habits, right? Success leaves clues, and you really got to do, you have the principles. You have to be intentional about your mornings.
Yes, absolutely. I love what I do, and I feel blessed to be able to get up and do this work every day. And, so for your listeners, that's one of the key things is really finding the work that aligns with your heart and with your values, because then it doesn't feel like work, right? I look at what I do every day as a creative endeavor. I'm kind of like a mind detective in my work with my clients, but building out programs and writing articles and all of that's all creative activities for me, which I love. So finding the thing that really aligns with your heart as best you can. And I get it, you got to pay the bills and you got to, keep a roof over your head and food on your table. And so the more you can find alignment with your values with the work that you're doing in some way, shape, or form, right? Then it makes it more joyful and gives you that inspiration each day to get out of bed and meet the day with courage and confidence and tenacity.
Mm-hmm. Well put. How can we connect with you? Where can we find you?
Sure. So you can always find me at nectarconsulting.com, nectar.com. And you can find me on social, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram. You can find me under Rapid Rewire. And I have a Facebook group called Rewire for Success. It's a free group. Feel free to pop in there and join the community that we have. I'm always giving tips and tricks and all sorts of goodies there. So lots of good places to connect. And if folks, are curious to know more, or if they'd like to see how this work might be of service to them, if you go to my website, you can always book a complimentary and confidential discovery call with me there, and we can spend some time talking about what's challenging you and how we can get those things out of your way for greater success.
Yes. I'll put all that on the show notes. And I just looked up your Rewire for Success group because I work with clients a lot about ANT, automative negative thoughts, right? We have those. And so the rewiring process begins with changing the programming and deep-rooted programming. So this is very fascinating to have heard a new method of how to tackle those.
Yes. Well, I've tried a lot of different things, Looney, and a lot of different types of modalities. And hands down, this has been the most transformative work that I've ever done in my life. And it's such a joy to be able to help folks get rid of blocks that have been in their way for so long. I had one woman, senior vice president, technology company, come to me, very frustrated, had been dealing with a binging habit her whole life. And she's like, please help me. I've tried everything. And inside of 30 days, we were able to get at the root beliefs behind it. Mm-hmm. And it stopped completely. And I have this beautiful handwritten note from her on my wall to remind me, that this stuff really works, even for the most stubborn of clients.
Yeah, it's powerful, powerful stuff. I really appreciate you sharing with us today. It's been a pleasure having you on the show.
Well, thank you so much. It's been my joy to be here, and I wish you and all of your listeners many blessings. Please stay safe these days.
Yes. One question before you go. What would you say is that you sell? Is it freedom? Is it liberation of the mind? What would you say that is?
Oh, gosh. I would say peace of mind, really. It's giving people peace of mind to be who they are fully, to let go of false truths they've been telling themselves for sometimes their whole lives.
Yeah, well put. I really like that. Thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you.
All right, morning enthusiasts, that's it for today's show. Thank you for tuning in. If you love the Best Morning Routine Ever podcast, we'd love to hear from you. So go ahead and subscribe, rate, and give a review on iTunes or Google Play. While you're at it, tell a friend about the show. Be sure to visit bestmorningroutineever.com and our Facebook group to join the conversation, access the show notes, and discover our fantastic free bonus content. Until next time,